Hi, welcome. In this video, I'd like to take a couple minutes to talk about the transition from the board and train process and when a dog goes back to the home environment, and sometimes the level of kind of challenge and pushback that can happen depending on how much control the dog was holding in the process and with their owners prior to attending the board and train. Now here's the thing to kind of look at to help people kind of really gain perspective on the reaction of dogs. When you, that's why I talk about a interaction-based approach that advocates the right way, that changes perceptions of dogs the right way based on, very specific interactions that a dog comes into agreement with. And just like being a parent, with establishing parental influence, how that happens based on a parent who's invested properly and who is interacting with their child in meaningful ways. But again, in terms of approaching training as an intervention, it's understanding or being able to reconcile once a dog has gained level of control, and unwanted behavior issues are happening. Why it really matters, why it's so important to make sure you're approaching the relationship or the behavioral issues you're experiencing the right way. Now, here's the thing about this contrast. Now, this is where you'll see it happen in terms of transitioning back into the home environment, where really a dog is really putting things to test, to really put out there to ask the question, is this real? Are the owners committed to changing? Or similar to embracing the right parenting style. And this is where oftentimes you'll see dogs will challenge and kick up even at a little higher level, especially within the first 24 to 48 hours. That type of transition back into the home, where for the dog, the past represented having a certain level of control, having fulfillment that way. And so coming into this board and train process where the dog is changing at a really good level for me, and understand this is why in terms of identifying a cutoff point, when I'm taking a dog into a 2-week process for 2 weeks, why I'm stopping it at 2 weeks. For me, that's the intersect point. That's the point of understanding that in terms of dogs as social animals, why it is that the focus really needs to be on the owners changing. So when I'm looking at a point in the process where I'm transitioning the dog back with the owners, this 2 weeks is ideal. Any longer than 2 weeks, what you're doing in that case is you're actually offering up a picture that isn't realistic, or you're presenting a process that more often than not is going to be based on motivating dogs to respond, and then offering up that type of a superficial appearance-based picture. It's kind of like giving you the keys to a brand new car. Say, here you go. You don't have to do anything. I just put some wax on the vehicle. It's just a hands-off, turnkey type of thing. You understand that that's not how it is when it comes to dogs. Dogs are all about connecting with you at that level, just like being a parent, where they are how they respond or behavioral issues, it plays off of the role that you play by way of how dogs connect with us at that level. So considering and understanding why it matters about how you're connecting, how you're interacting with dogs. This is why when you're doing a board and train type of a process, you have to be very careful with that process to make sure people are going into it considering just how critical it is in terms of making sure that they're changing so that they can take full advantage as to what's been established during those 2 weeks. And here's the point. When owners are changing, when they really understand what the process is meant to do, it can be a fantastic process. It can be very successful. But understanding, for owners to understand what the process is intended to do, making sure that they're changing along the way. So when the dog comes back in the home environment, they're committed to following through. They're continuing to interact with the dog in ways that I'm showing in terms of advocating properly, just like being a parent. But again, here's the thing: is again, I help people to kind of work through this stuff so that they understand that when the dog does go back to the home environment, okay, for many dogs, there's going to be a level of pushback. There's going to be a level of challenge. There's going to be, again, kind of putting it out there to kind of put things to the test, and you'll see it. You'll see the dogs react a certain way. Just like a teenager, like throwing a little bit of a fit, but that's normal. Understand, that's to be expected. So my encouragement to people is to simply move forward. And again, this is where, again, this is why when I put out or offer up as part of the transition a home visit session, so I can get into the home fairly quickly with the owners to help them in terms of working through that. So again, I just want to put out there that you will see that type of contrast. It's nothing to be concerned about. It can be a little, troubling for some dog owners to just say, what's going on? The dog is really kicking up. And this is interesting. This is why when people come to pick up their dog to take dog back home, I spend about an hour even in that part of the transition where I have the owners they're sitting down, I'm bringing the dog out, I'm interacting with the dog, I'm not even letting the dog even look at them for about 10-15 minutes. Okay, I'm getting things lined up, and then I'm bringing them alongside the dog in a very specific way. So I'm transferring that over, because you'll see the dog is right there. You'll see the dog's like very excitable, but not in a good way. Okay, in a way that says, you know what, I want to get back to them so I can gain back some control if they will allow it. So again, very, very important to understand how these things line up, because again, it's all about making sure dog owners are successful and that they're taking full advantage as to what's been established during the board and train process. Thanks for watching.